Okay. Oh, why is that coming up funny? Okay. So welcome back to another session of the Relaxing Fertility Yoga. My name is Julie, and as always, I just want to make it very clear that these sessions are for everybody. So that includes men and women, obviously women. And likewise, these sessions are safe for anyone at any point of an IVF journey. So these sessions are sponsored by the Fertility Partnership. And with regards to if you're at any stage of the IVF journey, please do feel or know that you're absolutely safe to do these classes. We avoid things like core work, and we avoid things like deep twists and inversions, like headstands and things like that. So if you're already a big yogi, definitely if you are currently on an IVF journey, particularly if you are in the 2-week wait or anything like that, it is better to avoid that more strenuous style of yoga for now. Okay. So guys, please also know that you are always welcome to put anything into the comments. So if there's something that you really feel you need, so if you're feeling like you need things to open up your chest, or you're feeling a lot of strain in your neck and your shoulders, and you really are hoping that we'll maybe focus on one of those things, please do feel free to let me know that kind of thing in the comment. These classes are for you. Likewise, so some of you might remember that previously we were doing these classes on Zoom. Please do feel free to send me a message and let me know if you preferred when the classes were on Zoom, if you felt that there was more of a community space there, because we can easily move them back there probably in the new year. Okay. Anything else to say? Oh yeah, and again, just anything that you feel you might need, please do feel free to message me before the sessions as well. You can find me on social media or on my website. The last 2 classes actually came via the request of somebody taking these classes, so I'm super happy to accommodate your requests for what we do. Okay. Okay. So last, a little bit of my housekeeping list, I suppose, that I go through every week. I do have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and they do sometimes make appearances. Okay, perfect, amazing. So there's a comment asking for things for the lower back. Absolutely. So we can do some strengthening and stretching of the lower back, and I'm so glad you asked. Thank you. And I interrupted myself when I saw your comment, but yes, just to say there are 2 little fur babies that hopefully should just sleep there for the class. But if they do make any noise at any point, please do just let it be vibration, part of the present moment, just other creatures also being alive right now. So we'll start with a centering and a breathing, and then we'll move into our warm-up movements. And then from there, we will flow through some postures. So lower back strengthening is a fantastic thing to think about with regards to fertility yoga as well, because the lower back is so energetically connected. Sorry, they're already doing their thing. The lower back is so energetically connected to your emotional body, right? So one of the things that we see a lot anecdotally is that people often get a lot of low back pain when maybe they're not feeling supported. Our bodies can really alert us to things. So obviously when we're feeling stressed, our body can alert us to that. When we're feeling afraid, our body can alert us to that. But it can alert us to more subtle things as well. And it's not that all low back pain comes from not feeling supported, but it is something to be aware of. If you feel like maybe there are places where you're not feeling supported, and that can even be as big as culturally, right? So The good news is that we can strengthen ourselves, and we can meet those feelings if they're there. Um, okay, let's start. Okay, so to begin, we'll start with the centering and breathing, and you can either come into a seated position or you can lie down on your back. It's just whatever you prefer. If you have been working all day, at a desk, I highly recommend you come down onto your back. And if you do come onto your back, actually, especially when we're talking about the lower back, so to have your knees bent is much gentler on your lower back when you're lying down, especially on a very flat surface, than to have the legs extended. That being said, if your lower back is fine with your legs being extended, great, feel free to do that. And it's not that one is bad or good or always right or always wrong. It's just what feels good to you right now. Okay. So once you find your centering position, again, whether you're seated or lying down, just take a few rolls of the shoulders. So you're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax your shoulders, relax your hands. Close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just sigh out a few times. But then when you're ready, just let your natural breath take over again. And just notice your breath. And notice where it lands in your body. Whether it's coming down into your belly, whether it's staying a little higher up in your chest. And as always, try to avoid judging whatever you find. Simply acknowledge it. There's no shoulds. There's no one you should be, no way you should be, no way you should look, no way you should feel. It all just is experience. So just start to check in with what your current experience is with your breath. And then just take the awareness to the face and start to soften the face. Relax the brow. Relax down along the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Loosen the jaw. And then just take that same sense of awareness and keep bringing it down your body. Can you relax the throat, the shoulders? Are you holding tension in your hands and your fingers? Maybe you're holding tightly in the legs, in the toes. If you're lying down, sometimes people can clench actually in the buttocks without realizing it. So just notice if you're kind of holding tight in some way. And see if you can just start to release that. Simply through noticing. And then take the awareness and start to bring it down, or back anyway, to your breath. And just start to deepen the breath through the nose. Inhale through the nose, take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. Exhale out the nose and feel the belly. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. So we inhale and slowly expand, and exhale and gently contract. And if you're familiar with the ujjayi or the ocean wave sounding breath, just go ahead and gently come into that now. But if you're not familiar with it, don't worry. And we're just going to take about 5 more breaths here. Inhaling and slowly expanding. And then exhaling and gently contracting. And from here, start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And just in your own time and in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. Just letting yourself stretch, roll around, yawn, sigh. Just do whatever you need, whatever would feel good to you. And then start to bring yourself to tabletop. So we're going to come onto hands and knees, but just take your time getting there. So whether you're seated or lying down, just take your time. And just a little interesting tip. So I had to put a thunder shirt on my dog just in the last few minutes because she does get a little bit anxious. She is a rescue dog, and it's like the dog's kind of getting this big squeeze, not in any way that would hurt her. And it's surprisingly effective at helping to reduce anxiety. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because it's also really good for people. So not the thunder shirt per se, and definitely not a straight jacket, but if you are feeling a lot of anxiety in your chest, sometimes it can help to lie down and just put some kind of weight on your chest, or they have weighted blankets. So then when you do, after a few minutes, remove that weight, it does release some of the anxiety with it. It's almost like it feels like it pulls the anxiety out. It's just kind of a psychological trick. So if you are somebody that feels quite anxious, or occasionally feels anxious, do consider trying a weighted blanket. And I'm sorry that she's digging like crazy on the sofa. You can probably hear that. Okay, let's go. So wrists and shoulders are in line, knees and hips are in line, and we're going to take an inhale and arch through the spine, roll the shoulders back, take a nice big inhale here, and then exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and round up. And again, inhale and arch, and exhale and round. And do it again. All right. And then start to bring yourself towards a neutral tabletop position. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we don't do any deep twists in here, but that doesn't mean we can't do little ones, okay? So what we're going to do, really simple, we're just going to take the left forearm down to the floor, so it's coming behind the right wrist. And we're just going to turn and look up past the right shoulder. And that's all we're going to do here today. Okay? And you just don't want to do deep twists, especially if you're in the IVF process. You don't want to do deep twists just because of certain compression that we want to avoid. Okay. And then unwind that left hand. Take an inhale, lift it up towards the left side, just mindfully. Oh, and then exhale, take it back down. Before we take the other side, let's stretch the upper back and shoulders. Come down onto your forearms, leave your bottom in the air, okay? And then you're going to walk your arms out in front of you. Take your forehead down and just start to relax there as best you can in a puppy pose. So it's like a dog in a play bow. So a dog getting ready to pounce. Okay, and then start to walk it all the way back. All right, and then once you've come back, take the right forearm and bring it down to the floor. So again, right wrist coming behind the left, and we just turn and look past that left shoulder. And again, we're just getting that nice twist into the upper body without compressing anything in the lower body. And then inhale, right arm goes up. And exhale, we take the right hand all the way back down. All right. Now, from here, we're going to do something that might feel a little bit silly. Firstly, before we do anything else, I just want you to take your right leg back behind you and just make sure that there's nothing there that you're going to run into with your foot, okay? So health and safety. We don't want to kick anything over. Okay, now from here, what you're going to do is draw the right knee into the chest, take a nice big inhale, and then you're going to exhale, ha, out the mouth and kick that leg back behind you. And you can get creative with this. You can kick out anything that is bothering you. You can just bring it in and ha, 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 ha. A few more. Ha, 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 ha. Two more. Ha. And ha, kick it all the way back. Now we're going to keep going with some silliness here, and we're channeling our dog friends. We're going to bend the right knee, take it up and out to the side, draw that knee up towards your shoulder. Don't worry if you can't get it there. Take it in that direction, roll it down to the elbow, and then send it back. And we're just going to do that a few times. And I know that this is tough. This is really working the glutes or your bottom. When we're talking about fertility yoga, it doesn't all have to be relaxing, I don't know, sunshine and galaxies, rainbows, whatever. We want to also build strength. We just want to do it in a way that's safe. Woo! I'm feeling that. Take one more. Ugh. Okay, take it all the way back. All right, I'm going to push you just a little bit here. Now, if you're feeling sensitive in that right wrist, you might consider making a fist here. So like a gorilla hand instead, rather than the straight palm. It's completely up to you. And then we're going to take the left arm and extend it all the way out. Okay, so we've got left arm, right leg extending. And we breathe into this. So this is a fantastic lower back strengthener. And I'm going to show you some other options, but basically anything where you have the opposite arm and leg extended is a really good strengthener for your lower back. You can probably feel that stretch and strengthen all at once here. So let's take another breath here. And then exhale. Take that left hand down. And if you've made a fist with your right, go ahead and bend that, or what am I saying? Go ahead and flatten that right hand back out. And then you're going to bend the right knee and then bring the foot up so that it's coming between your hands. Now, if you're feeling sensitive, it depends on how hard your floor is. If that left knee is feeling sensitive at all, if you're using a yoga mat, you can fold it. Otherwise, you could also grab a blanket or a towel and fold it up underneath that left knee, just so that you have a little bit of extra support there. Okay. And then we're going to rise up. And I'm going to adjust the screen there just so I'm not headless. Okay. So we're going to rise up. So we've got that right foot on the floor, nice angle there with that right knee. And we're going to take a big inhale, lift the arms. And then exhale. I want you to open your arms out into scarecrow. So we're just making that kind of boxy shape with the arms. And then we're going to inhale, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and round down. It's kind of like Michael Jackson's Thriller, if you remember it. I mean, I was a kid when it came out, so I'm sure some of you are much younger than me. Okay, we're going to inhale, open it up. And exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and round down. One more. Okay, inhale, lift it up. And then exhale, reach your arms up into the sky. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward from your hips. And I want you to take your fingertips down either side of that right leg again. Okay. And then you're going to, in fact, you can even have them slightly out front, because what you're going to do is you're going to push through that right foot, curl your left toes under behind you, and then you're going to start to pop up. And I'll move some more in the frame. So you're going to pop up so that that left leg is up into the sky. All right. Now, you might be getting worried. We're going to have that left leg so that it is parallel to the floor. And I want you to try to push through your right foot and pull up through your core. Now, again, it's not that we don't use and activate the core in fertility yoga. It's just that we're not doing very specific core exercises like crunches or planks, things like that. So we're then going to try to come up into this figure skater. Now, if you can't come up into that from the floor, don't worry, it's okay. What you can do is come in from standing. So if you're struggling with that, just stand up and take your right foot to the floor, hands to your hips, and then start to play with hinging forward. If you're really, really struggling, don't should upon yourself. So don't say, oh, I should be able to do this or any of that. Leave that garbage behind and just engage using a wall or a door handle. A door handle is actually quite fabulous. How hot is my radiator? Okay, it's not on. So what you can also do, I'm going to give you another option here in just a second. So once you're in that balance, that warrior three or figure skater, you can play with taking your arms out to a T or all the way out in front of you into a superhero. Now, again, when you bring your arms out, this is another lower back strengthener. We're also working on strengthening that leg. Okay. And then take your arms back and come all the way up to standing. And exhale, release your arms down. Take a nice big inhale, lift the arms. And exhale down. And one more. All right. Now, let your arms come down to the sides of your body. And I just want to show you another option here for a great way that you can play with stretching out through your spine, through your back, where you're more supported. So if you, for example, I don't want you to rip the radiator from your wall. So why don't I use actually the sofa as a better example of this? Or I don't want you to burn yourself either. So what you could do is you can find, or you can use a door handle. It just depends on kind of how much strength you're putting into it. But what you could do is you can come to the corner of a sofa, okay? You could come to the corner of a sofa, place your hands on it. You could hold your hands against a door handle. So especially if you have an open door, hold each handle. And then you walk yourself back. And then I don't have as much space here as I would like. You'll have to find the space, but you can lift that left leg up and then you really lean back into it so that you feel that stretch. Now, I don't have enough space here because I'm running into the wall. But find a place where you have enough space that you can hold and you can lean. Now, if I bend my left leg, I can hold and lean. And then I get this really lovely stretch through my right hamstring. So through the back of that right leg, as well as into the shoulders and into the back. Okay, and then take it back up. All right, and then we're going to bring ourselves back down. I feel like this class is a little crazy tonight, sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do now is come back to our original starting place. Take a nice big inhale, lift the arms. And then exhale, swan dive, hinge forward from the hips. And then start to bend your knees and come all the way down. And I'm sorry for the dog barking. All right, there we go. He's wanting to be with my partner, and my partner had his headphones on. Okay, so we're going to bring it all the way back down into tabletop. So shoulders in line with the wrists, knees in line with the hips. And before we do anything else here, before we come back into those hara kicks, I want you to think about the barrel of your rib cage, and you're just going to send your ribs out to one side, roll it up through center, over to the other side, and down. So we're just really undulating through the spine. And then go the other way. All right. And then take it all the way back through center. So again, wrists and shoulders, knees and hips in line. If your knees are feeling uncomfortable on your head, pop something under them or put a fold in your mat so that you can support them. Okay. And then from here, we are then going to take the left leg and extend it back. And again, just double check that there's nothing in your way. And it is important to double check on both sides. I've learned that the hard way. Okay. And then we're going to come into about 12 of those hara kicks. So we take that left knee into the chest. We take an inhale and then we exhale and we kick it back. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Two more. Ha, and ha. Take it back. Okay, remember the glute strengthener. That's where we're going. We're going to bend that left leg and take it out to the side like a dog having a wee, right? So we take that left leg out to the side, draw the knee up towards the shoulder around to the elbow, and then send it straight back. And again, you don't have to really force yourself with any of this. Listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right to you, maybe you only do it part way. So rather than take it up to the shoulder, you take it up to in line with the hip, and then you take it down and back. Okay? So again, always listening to our bodies, not doing what we think we should do, but actually what the body would like us to do. And listening to your body is a skill like anything else. It takes a little bit of practice if you're not used to it, and that's okay. Take one more. Ooh, I'm feeling that glute. Okay. We take that left leg back now. And then again, we're going to shift the weight into the left hand. So you might want to make a fist. It just depends on how your left wrist feels. And then we're going to take the right arm and extend it all the way out in front. So it's opposite arm and leg. So left leg, right arm. So every now and then I get people doing the same side, and it's just going to make it really hard on you. Okay, so we take an inhale here. And then exhale. Bend the elbow, bend the knee, draw them together under the body. And then inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Oh, we didn't do this on the other side, did we? Oh, crap. Sorry. Inhale, take it all the way out. Hold it there. Just breathe. So there you go. Guys, I had coffee before this class, which I think you can probably tell, so I'm sorry. In like 3 weeks, I hadn't had a coffee, and wow, I really feel it, so I'm really sorry. Okay, take that right hand down, bend your left knee, place your left foot onto the floor. Okay, and then we're going to roll the shoulders back, lift it all the way up. And I'm just going to ignore the fact that I've lost my head on the screen. We're going to inhale, lift the arms. And then exhale. Take your arms again into scarecrow. So we're in that boxy position with the arms. We're going to inhale, open the chest up to the sky, squeeze the shoulders together behind you. And then exhale, tuck the chin into your chest, roll it down. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, roll it down. One more. Okay. Inhale, open it up. And then exhale, come to neutral. Take your arms up into the sky. And then hinge forward from your hips. Take your fingertips. So again, they can either be on the sides of the foot, but it might be easier if they're slightly out front. And then we're going to push into the left foot, curl the right toes under, and then we're going to pop it up. So we lift that right leg up here, okay? And then try to take your hands away. I'll tip the screen now. Try to take your hands away from the floor so that you are coming into warrior three or a figure skater-like position. Then again, you can play with the arms coming to a T or all the way out into superhero. Breathe. All right, take it back. And then again, take it all the way up to standing. And we're again going to try to engage with our space a little bit. I'm going to show you what I mean about the door handle instead this time. So playing again with the idea of engaging with your space. So for me here, you can see I can put my hands on either side of the door. And I can just kind of put my fingers in. And again, guys, don't rip your door handle off. We're not being bodybuilders here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to hold on, and then we can even start to take the feet back. So we're already starting to stretch into, oh, that's so nice. Stretch into the shoulders and the upper back. We have a slight lean back with the bottom, a slight bend of the knees. And then we can pick that right leg up. Oh. And we just hold that stretch. Okay. And then you can very gently return that right foot to the earth. Take another stretch there into your shoulders, into your upper back. And then slowly come all the way back up to standing. Okay. So just things that you can play with. You really can use your house for your yoga practice. You know, there's so many ways of stretching and opening the body and engaging with our world. And I think when we're talking about fertility, we can get very narrowly focused on something like fertility, anything that causes us anxiety. We can get very narrowly focused on it. So sometimes playing with your house is great to just go, okay, how can I use this and how can I stretch? Maybe if I just throw my leg up on the piano and hey, again, it's a little silly, but it's just about breaking the circuit of anxiety that we might have. Okay. So feet come to a nice hip distance stance. Take a big inhale, lift the arms. And again. And one more. And then inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale, swan dive, hinge forward from the hips. Hang the head, hang the arms. So we're coming into Uttanasana, into standing forward fold. We give the head a few shakes yes, and a few shakes no. And again, yes, yes, yes. And no, no, no. And just relax the head down, relax the arms. This kind of position, don't worry if your hands are on the floor or not. You can have a little micro bend in your knees. In fact, that's usually healthier for your lower back than if you were to really lock that leg back. So again, a micro bend is great. And just this hanging forward here, it's a really nice thing for your nervous system. Just down regulates. You can even sway your hips a little bit side to side. All right. And then bring it all the way back through center. Start to bend your knees. And again, you're going to walk yourself down onto your mat or onto your floor. But what I would like you to do is this time come all the way down onto your belly. So you're just going to walk it down, and bring yourself to the belly. Okay, and then once you've come onto your belly, we're going to bring the elbows in line with the shoulders, tops of the feet flat on the earth behind us. We roll the shoulders back. We open up through the chest. And just breathe here. This is Sphinx. Try not to be a sad turtle in Sphinx. We want the shoulders rolled back, nice long neck. Take another breath here. All right. And then exhale. Start to bring it down. And we're going to keep doing some of these lower back strengtheners. I think I'll lead you. How much time do we have? We have a bit of time. So I'm going to lead you through about 3 or 4 different lower back strengtheners here. So what I would like you to do is come down, but bring your arms around behind you and interlace your fingers behind your back. So you're going to take your chin or your forehead to the floor, just whichever is more comfortable. And then those hands behind your back, just have your palms towards each other. Okay. And then from here, we're going to take an inhale. And then exhale, lift the head, lift the heart, lift the chest, lift the legs, and try to lift the legs towards each other. Draw your arms back. Your legs, they love to separate because that makes it easier. But we want them to stay towards each other because that's going to also engage with that lower back strengthening. And just keep breathing into it. And take a couple more breaths here. Sorry, I just can hear the Zoom call in the other room, and I don't know if you can. So I'm just going to shut this door again. Okay. Okay, so once you're here, go ahead and unwind your fingers, reach your arms out like you are flying a plane, or you are the plane, really. And then start to try to take your arms all the way out in front of you into superhero. Okay? Oh boy. And then we're going to kick the legs up and down. Our superhero is going swimming. Whew. And then let's exhale. Take the arms and take the legs down. And you are taking them down into this position with the arms out front and the legs out back. And just like we did earlier in standing and on hands and knees, we're again going to deal with opposite arm and leg movements because that is a fantastic and one of the easiest ways to access the lower back safely, to strengthen it, to stretch it all in one. So take your forehead, bring it down. And then we're going to inhale, lift the right arm and the left leg. Now, if you feel a little claustrophobic, you can lift your head up. It's just a slightly different stretch. And then exhale. Take the arm and the leg down. And then inhale, go the other way. Left arm, right leg. And then exhale it down. Now, take this back and forth, side to side. So we're going to inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, take it down. And just take a few more back and forth with your breath. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. Let's take one more to each side. All right. And then inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, and then bend your right leg, take your right hand back to catch your right foot. So now we're working with the same sides. So left arm, left leg extended, right hand to right foot. And you can actually just start with that quadricep stretch. So we bring the heel towards the buttock. Ooh, should be feeling that in the front of the leg. If you're struggling to catch hold of the foot, you can also take your hip out a little wider, and that usually makes it much easier to grab hold. Okay. And then we're going to come up into a Cupid. So from here, take your, again, chin or forehead to the floor in front of you. We're going to inhale. And then exhale, lift everything up. It might not go too far. My back bends aren't particularly deep. Yours might be a bit deeper. So we're lifting the left arm, lifting the left leg, lifting that right leg from the floor. Okay. And then exhale, go ahead and release that down. And then we take that right arm, bring it back out front, let your right leg come down. Nothing too fancy, just bring your legs and your hips back into position, into that centering position. And we're going to bend the left leg, take hold of that left foot, start with the quad stretch. Oh, so nice. Oh, bringing that heel towards the buttock. Okay. And then bring it back to, or start to lift your, what am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Chin or forehead to the floor in front of you, or you can lift the head. It doesn't matter. It's all fine. We're going to now lift everything up. So just start to lift up. Lift the arm, lift the legs. Breathe. Couple more breaths. Okay. Exhale, take it down. Ugh. Now, take your legs down and bring your hands so that you can just stack your palms on top of each other. Elbows are going out to the sides. This is such a nice pose. I have no idea why it has the name of crocodile. I have no idea, because it's a very calming, nice pose and does not in any way resonate to me as a crocodile. But crocodile pose, we're bringing the forehead down onto the hands. We're just taking a moment to sigh out here. Take another breath. Mm. And then lift the head, lift the heart. Slide your hands to the sides of your chest very gently. Start to press up, and then we're going to roll back into a child's pose. So we take the bottom towards the heels, belly over between the thighs, forehead down. All right, and then slowly start to roll yourself all the way back to so that you're coming up towards seated. And now we're going to come into one stretch that's so good for stretching the lower back. So if you've done a lot of these classes with me before, you'll have probably heard me talk about this, but just go with it if you have heard this before, because not everyone has. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our big toes together behind us in a bit of a kiss. So the big toe loves the other big toe. And then we're going to take the knees wide and just take them out as wide as you can. So just take them out, out, out. If your big toes separate ever so slightly, it's fine. Okay. Now, we're going to come down in a moment. And what we're working on stretching is the iliopsoas muscle. And your iliopsoas, it runs from the base of your spine. It wraps in front of your hip and connects to your femur or to your leg bone here. Okay. So again, runs from the base of the spine over the hip, and it's on both sides. Okay. And this muscle is often responsible for lower back pain when it gets very tight. And in fact, if you are somebody who sleeps like this, where you bring, it's so nice, where you bring this leg up like that, that is your body's natural way of stretching your iliopsoas. If you do have a tight lower back and you don't sleep like this, I do recommend it entirely to try sleeping like this, or you could also pop a pillow up underneath this leg if it feels too intense. And this is a really nice way of sleeping. Okay, just for your lower back. Now, what we're going to do here, so we've got the knees wide. We're going to walk the hands out in front of us. And then we're going to push the bottom back towards the heels. And as you do, hopefully you start to feel a stretch around the inside of your thigh. Now, you might even feel it around your lower back. It's not a child's pose, and one of the things you can keep going lower. So you can go onto your forearms, and you could even go all the way down to the ground. But the thing to avoid is when you then lurch forward. So I'm really exaggerating, but if I just came all the way to the floor, my bum's going to lift up into the sky. It's still a nice stretch. But the problem is you start to put a little bit of pressure into your lower back when you do it this way. And we're actually trying to alleviate the pressure in the lower back. So that's why we want to keep pushing it back. So we can lean it down, but as long as we still get that push back where the back is able to get the release rather than the arch. So let's take a few more breaths here. Start to lift the head, lift the heart, and walk yourself back up. Draw your knees in. And then once you've brought the knees in, take your arms out to one side and swing your legs out in front of you. And then very gently come down onto your back. All right. And then once you've come down onto your back, just relax your shoulders, Relax your hands. Take a moment just to sigh out. Now let's just bring a little bit of gentle movement into this wind down. So one nice thing we can do is walk the feet out wider than hip distance to the right. Okay. And what you can do is you drop your knees to the right. Now that left leg is not going to come all the way down, but you can push off the inside of that left foot and then roll it back through center and over to the other side. So we just get this little lift of the lower back. Nothing major. Do that a couple more times, just side to side, getting the stretch also through the hip flexor and the quadricep. All right. And then when you're ready, start to bring yourself back to a centered position on your back. And just relax your arms, and you can either have your feet on the floor or you can extend your legs all the way out, just letting them flop and splay. And just relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. And take a few last deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just feel your eyelids become heavy over your eyes. And feel your body just start to melt down against the ground. And again, any external sounds, so my cats, my dogs, anything on your end, try to just let it be vibration. So it's not good or bad, but just part of being here now. And as you relax there, just feel your eyelids become heavy over your eyes. And just allow yourself to connect down to the ground, to the earth. And just take a moment to remind yourself that the earth is always there. The earth is currently supporting you, physically holding you here right now, but also feeding you all the time, giving you water, giving you nutrients and nourishment. So take a moment just to remind yourself that you are a creature in a beautiful ecosystem on this planet, and that there is support there. And if you're ever feeling anxious or unnerved, consider the idea of stepping outside onto grass with bare feet, or going for a walk somewhere where you can be with the earth. the woods, the sea, the river. And just remember that, again, this earth is here for us to enjoy, not to exploit, but to enjoy, to experience. And start to deepen your breath. And draw some movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And gently roll to one side. And then bring yourself all the way back up to seated. Excuse me. And take your hands into prayer in front of the heart. And just gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice, and this earth. And thank you all so much for coming this evening. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night and your week ahead. We will be back here, same time, same place on YouTube next week. We were on Zoom, the Fertility Partnership. We were on Zoom for quite a while with these classes, for over a year. And then we had that Zoom bomber raider situation, which wasn't nice. So we switched it over to YouTube. But please do feel free to send me a message. Better to message me because there's a lot of people at TFP. So feel free to send me a message and let me know if you prefer it to be on Zoom or if you're happy with the YouTube setup. It's always feedback is always welcome on this. So, and I'm just seeing that there was a comment. Okay, so I don't know if that was actually a real comment, but we definitely don't do inversions when we're doing fertility yoga. So if that was a real comment, it's not the kind of thing that's necessarily beneficial particularly for women's bodies in this stage. So yes. But we can do some love for the feet or anything else next week. Again, always feel free to message me and let me know if there's just something that your body is really asking for. I'm super happy to accommodate. Have a beautiful night. That's it for this week. See, she did calm down after I put her thunder shirt on her. It worked on her. It didn't work on the other dog. Okay. Have a good night. Bye for now.